You know what would be better than watching this commercial? Watching your commercial. Join the party that is Make Your Day Richer TV by advertising your brand, business, or project during the show. Use us to promote what you're doing to make our viewers' day richer. Scan the QR code or visit makeyourdayricher.com/advertising to start promoting today.
Make your day richer than it was before. Got some good times knocking upon your front door.
Oh, relax. Thank you. Every day, that video of how many views we have scares the crap out of me. It is so loud, and I'm the one that makes it, and you'd think I'd fix that, but I don't. But we're at 88,000 views of this show, and I thank everyone who watches every day. It's an honor to be able to share this show with everyone. And so if you're watching right now, wherever you're watching, can you just click the share button and share it quick now? Because the goal is to get to 100,000 by the end of the year. And I think we're going to make it. And we might even exceed it. And that's really exciting because we've got some big things happening in 2025. So stick around for that. There's also a lot happening this weekend here for me and in the area. If you are in the Waxhaw, North Carolina area, get your tickets tonight to Waxhaw Community Theater's A Christmas Carol live radio play. Premieres tonight, and I will be there along with some friends. It's going to be a really fun night. Runs this weekend and next weekend, so go support your local community theater. If you're not in the area, find the local community theater that's doing some sort of holiday play and go support them because they work their butts off to entertain you. So we need to support them. And then, let's see, tomorrow I am emceeing a fun little bingo Christmas brunch for a bunch of senior citizens. I'm very excited about that. Apparently there's supposed to be like 200 people showing up. Santa's going to be there. And we're going to play bingo with them, and they've got a big sit-down lunch planned. It's going to be really exciting. And then on Sunday, the Waxhaw Christmas Parade. Dreams are coming true here on Make Your Day Richer, or for me, and on here, I suppose, because of this show. I get to do the Katie Couric Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade. I've always wanted to sit in a booth and tell you the floats that are flying by. And on Sunday, I get to do that thanks to the Parks and Rec team over in Waxhaw. So 3 to 5 on Sunday. Come hang out. Come early, because traffic, as we know, is not going to be great in Waxhaw because of the parade. So come early, get a spot, hang out with us. All right. I'm going to take a sip from my Ember mug, which can be found on my gift guide at makeyourdayricher.com/shop. I've got a full, fun, curated list of all the things that I love that would make great gifts for you or the people in your life that you love. The Ember mug is one of them. I've had it for a couple of years. It was a gift. It's this little pad that you plug in. That's what charges it. And then you put whatever you want in it. And then there's an app, which I probably should have had set up and ready to go. But look, my coffee, 137 degrees right now. And then you can change it to whatever. It also has recipes on here. You can preset things, a timer. It's, love it. Ember mug. They also have travel mugs, larger sizes, but this mug here is in the shop, makeyourdayricher.com/shop. Go check it out, along with everything else that I have on there. Lots of great stuff. So thanks for doing that. That's it. It's Friday. It's been a long week, but a good week. Let's see. That's it. So let's start the show, shall we? Kevin Palmieri is here today. Really excited to talk to him about his podcast that's doing amazingly well and his story. He's got a really great story. We're going to talk about you know, what happens when you hit rock bottom and then you realize that there's another floor underneath that, and how you get yourself out of that holistically, and what he has done for himself and his life and the life he has built. I'm really excited to introduce you to him. So we're going to take a break. We'll come back with Kevin right after this. Okay? Don't go away.
Tired of harsh chemicals in your home? Let's change that. At EcoGlow Cleaning, we bring eco-friendly expertise right to your doorstep. We will make your day richer by bringing a glow to your home or office. For over 20 years, EcoGlow Cleaning has been the trusted choice for professional cleaning services in the Charlotte area. From deep cleaning to regular maintenance, EcoGlow Cleaning offers a wide range of services. All services are tailored to your needs and schedule. Our eco-friendly products ensure a healthy and safe environment for you and your family, including your pets. For a free quote, visit our website at www.ecoglowcleaning.com or give us a call at 704-777-9768. EcoGlow Cleaning is a proud sponsor of Make Your Day Richer TV.
We're back, everybody. Kevin, thank you so much for being here.
Of course. Thank you so very much for having me. I appreciate it. I'm excited.
I'm excited to have you here. And congratulations on the success of your podcast, Next Level University.
Thank you.
You've been doing that a long time, sir.
I appreciate it very much. Well, again, I started with congratulations with you because I love the fact that you're winning at this. You're adding value to the world, and it's a wonderful thing to do.
What got you into podcasting?
I was interviewed on a YouTube channel, and it was an hour and a half, felt like 5 minutes. We got to the end, and I said to one of my friends who was there, I said, imagine if you could do that for a living. And he said, there's people out there that do. So I went and bought the equipment. I went on Fiverr. Somebody made my artwork for me. I figured out how to audio edit, and I was just off to the races. I loved it. I fell in love with it.
So you learned kind of like I did. Like, I filmed my first episode, and then I was like, oh, I have to edit this. Like, that never dawned. Like, my goal was just talk to people.
Yes.
Like, I never. So is that how you did it too? Like, you taught yourself?
Yeah, I started with audio, and then the second year we started doing video, so I had to learn how to video edit too. And I think I edited our first probably 300 episodes or something like that. Wow. It was a lot.
What are you at now? How many
today,
episodes?
Today we recorded 1,892, and then I have another podcast about podcasts that has 126.
Wow. And how often do they come out, and like what days, and where can people find it all?
So Next Level University comes out 7 days a week at 5 a.m.
Wow.
And then Podcast Growth University is Friday morning, every Friday morning.
I thought 5 days a week that's how often I do this show. I thought that was, it's a commitment. It's what I tell people. Not a lot of work. It's a commitment.
Well, that's still, 5 days a week is still serious business. So shout out to you for doing that.
Well, and what are people learning on the Next Level University podcast?
So we talk a lot about holistic self-improvement. So for us, I have a background where I made money. I was in really good shape. I had attractive partners, but I never could figure out how to succeed in all of those at the same time. That was really the hardest part. So we talk about self-worth, self-belief, habits, boundaries, essentially what you need to do to level up in order to get the goals that you have decided you want. That's us in a nutshell.
Wow. And I'm assuming after all those episodes that you've also learned a lot. What have you been learning while doing this podcast?
Goodness. I thought I was going to learn a lot from guests, and I did. I learned a ton from guests, but I think the stuff that I learned the most was about how much I needed to work on my own self-belief. I was somebody who, I might seem very confident. I've just done this a lot. I'm somebody who deals with a lot of self-doubt, imposter syndrome. I was wildly insecure at the beginning of this. So I really had to work on confidence. I didn't know how much I was lacking that. That was huge for me. Also, it doesn't take a lot to make someone's day. If you really show someone that you care about them, you can turn somebody's day around in the snap of a finger. And that's something that we always try to do. We have a very big community, and I always want to add value. So that's something. If you go above and beyond, it doesn't really take that much to go above and beyond, probably less than you think.
Yeah. And for someone to later go, I remembered you because you did this small little thing for me.
Yeah, that's what it's all about. I think that's why I started it. I started this for impact. I didn't even know you could make money. I didn't start this to make money. I would have done something else if it was purely to make money. I want to help people. I genuinely do.
Yeah. When I was reading about you, one of the things that I loved was your journey of learning, but also unlearning. And I think that's really important as people are trying to talk about self-improvement and self-esteem and all of those things. Can you talk about what that means for you?
One of the things we learned pretty quickly is, especially working with people who had low self-worth. Low self-worth for most of us is learned. You don't start with low self-worth. It's usually a toxic parent leads to low self-worth, which leads to getting into toxic relationships that you should have filtered out. You get treated and mistreated, and then it continues and it perpetuates. Eventually, you get to the place where you unlearn the stuff that you feel about yourself. I almost think of it as a replacement. Like you are learning something new and unlearning something that you thought was true. Replace those, and now you essentially have a new operating system, for lack of better phrasing. So yeah, a lot of what I thought, one of the things I used to think was people who were successful were arrogant. I just thought that because usually they're confident. I was insecure. Confidence seemed like arrogance to me. So that was one. Money is the root of all evil. That's not necessarily true. In some circumstances it might be, but I had to unlearn that and relearn a relationship with money. My intimate relationships, I had to unlearn a lot of stuff and really work on my character. So yeah, I think as humans, we're focused on books and we're focused on TED Talks, and that's awesome. That's wonderful. I think the best way to unlearn is to reflect on who you used to be as you aspire to the version of yourself that you desire to be today.
How do you recommend people start doing that? Like, obviously, we're not going to go through the entire thing now, but like, when people are struggling like that, it's so hard to take that first step because you're constantly blocking yourself anyway. So to try to better yourself, how do you recommend people do that?
I think the power of questions. So in the beginning, I asked why. Why do I feel insecure around certain people, but very secure around other people? Why do I feel 10 out of 10 confident in the gym, but 0 out of 10 confident everywhere else? Oh, that's where I've spent most of my time. Interesting. So the amount of time I put into something is also going to dictate the amount of confidence I have. Interesting. Okay, let's follow that a little bit. So for me, it's always been questions. And I feel like questions are one of the best ways to raise your awareness. The other thing is when you're learning new content, when you're learning from podcasts, audiobooks, and then you reflect on what you're learning, it's going to break some stuff free about what you didn't know in the first place. So self-improvement in general is going to help you raise your self-awareness. And then the questions you ask yourself and have the courage to answer, those are usually the easiest 2 places to start. I'm very big on tracking habits. That's helped me a ton. So when you start doing that, you learn a lot about yourself. You're more consistent than you thought or maybe less consistent. It's okay either way. It's good feedback to have, and then we can kind of operate from that new awareness.
Yeah, no judgment. You just know where you stand then.
Yep. Yeah.
What did you want to be when you were a kid, when you grew up?
Oh,
not a podcast host, I would guess.
No, I don't think it existed at the time. It wasn't even an option. I wanted to be a police officer. Then I wanted to be a firefighter. And then in high school, I wanted to be a professional fighter.
Like an MMA fighter?
Yeah, I trained in high school. That was my thing. I'm going to fight in the UFC. That was my goal for a time.
What do you love about your life now that you're on this path?
I don't get punched in the face for a living.
Yeah.
So that's got to be an upside of it for sure. I get to grow every day. I get to contribute to something way bigger and way more meaningful than anything that's just me. And I'm my own boss, which is amazing. I never thought that was going to happen. So I quite literally get to do what I love, and I am living my dreams. This is what I do full time. I sit in this office all day. So I'm privileged enough to say that I have had the opportunity to create the life that I desire. And I can't imagine a better life than that for me at this point.
Do you do coaching?
Yes.
I was going to say, you like, if you don't, you should.
I appreciate it.
Tell everybody about that. And I'm guessing we can assume the type of coaching you do, but like, what are the types of people that you work with?
I'm gonna hit you with a change up because maybe you wouldn't assume. We'll see. So we do one-on-one coaching and group coaching for next levelness. So essentially what we talked about, holistic self-improvement, right?
Mm-hmm.
When we were like 300 episodes in, people started asking me about podcasting. It's like, I don't know anything. I don't know how to help you. Eventually, we ended up doing a lot of podcast coaching. So right now I'm working with 67, I think, podcasters.
Wow.
That's the majority of my time now is I essentially work with podcasters and entrepreneurs who want to grow their podcast. That's really what I do today. So it's turned into this weird thing, but self-improvement, we do that coaching, and then I do podcast coaching.
Interesting. I mean, you've been in it for so long before podcasting is what it is today. Can we talk about like the pros and cons of that? I love that like everybody now has, whether it's books that you can self-publish on Amazon, that everybody has access to create art and put it out there for people. And then the downside is everybody has access to go out there and do something without maybe thinking it through.
Yeah.
That's my version. What are your thoughts?
I'm similar. My thought is when the barrier to entry goes down, the failure rate goes up. So essentially anybody that has a cell phone and an internet connection can start a podcast now.
Mm-hmm.
But that also means that there's a lot of people that are going to start and they're not going to succeed because the barrier to entry is so low. That's one piece of it. The other piece of it is when technology is democratized, everybody has access to it. So you kind of have to do something different to set yourself apart. I think it's good because it really highlights the people who are the most creative. So if you're creative and you're thinking differently and you're saying to yourself, well, just because this program does this doesn't mean that's where I'm going to stop growing. I think you have a really good chance of succeeding, but it's going to be the people who grow. You got to be focused on growing yourself and then focusing on 1% improvements with everything that you do. But I think it's great that so many people have the opportunity. It saddens me that a lot of people will start, kick the tires a little bit, and then move to the next thing.
Yeah, I saw that especially during when the pandemic first started. I had all of my comedian friends were starting podcasts to talk because they had nowhere to go to get laughs. So they all started podcasts, and then when they all talked to each other, they were like, "Well, now what?" And then their podcasts went away. What are some tips for people who want to start podcasting? And podcasting, I think now is such like an umbrella term. To start, like, what are some things that people need to have that you would recommend before they even press record?
Whew. I would say you need to know the audience that you desire to serve. It's the having cool conversations with cool people thing is definitely a strategy. It's just really hard to win, and it's even harder to make money. So what I usually suggest to people is you determine what problem do you solve on your podcast. What is the problem that you solve? Who do you solve it for? And in what unique way do you solve it? That would be one. In terms of technology, I tell people you start with what's sustainable. I can send you a $40 mic. I can send you a $300 mic. I can send you a $1,500 mic. Whatever works for you is where I would start. You don't have to start on video if you don't want. It is more of a pain in the butt. But a lot of it's the internal stuff. I would start with the understanding that you're going to do this for at least a year before you revisit the level of success you've had, because I know a year is a long time. Let's put it this way. If you do a year of stand-up, that might seem like a long time. If you're only doing one set a week, that's 52 sets. I'm sure there's probably some people that do that in a month. So the time under tension is a little bit different. So yeah, it would be know your problem you're solving, know the audience you're serving, and then give it a year before you even question whether or not it's working.
Did you start yours with I'm doing this 7 days a week?
No.
I was gonna.
No, I started. I was not super consistent in my first year because I was still traveling for work and I was all over the place. When my business partner and I partnered up, we said, all right, we're never going to miss an episode. So it went from 1 to 2 a week to 3 a week. And then eventually we were doing 6 and we said, what are we doing? Might as well just do 7. There's only 7 days in the week. Let's do it. So,
What's one more?
right, what's one more? But it
Yeah.
starts from a place of sustainability. What can you do sustainably? Then after you start it sustainably, how do you do it consistently? And then how do you improve? And then once you run that cycle, you can start with sustainability again. And that's essentially what we did.
I'm going to call you the king of podcasting.
Okay.
That's your new title. I had the queen of tea the other day, and now you're the king of podcasting. How do people connect with you and support you, follow you, hire you, all those things? Listen to the podcasts.
I appreciate it. Yeah, Next Level University is the holistic self-improvement one. Podcast Growth University is the podcast one. They're on all the platforms. They're on YouTube. If you are a podcaster, I'm happy to offer you a free call. I don't care where you're at. I don't care if you haven't started yet. I promise I'm not going to sell you on anything. Just shoot me an email. My email is kevin@nextleveluniverse.com. Questions, comments, concerns, anything I can do to add value. I'm just a message away.
Perfect. Kevin Palmieri, everyone, thank you so much for being here. I appreciate it. We're going to take a break and we'll be right back after this.
Your body is whispering secrets to you about the life you're here to live. Decode the messages about the joy you're meant to experience despite, or maybe because of, the condition that upended everything you thought you knew. If you're ready to make magic and meaning of your one wild and precious life, learn more about coaching with Nona at nonajordan.com.
I love the music. Notice commercial. I love it. Thanks for watching, everybody. On Monday's show, we've got Deborah Heiser. She is the CEO of the Mentor Project. She's the author of Mentorship Edge. And she's going to be talking to us about being a mentor, becoming a mentor, and why mentorship is so, so important in the world today, regardless of your age. I always think it's like when you're just starting out in a job, in a career, you need a mentor. But I don't think that's true anymore. All right, that's it. Have a great weekend, everybody. Come see A Christmas Carol tonight, waxhawcommunitytheater.com. Come to the Waxhaw Parade on Sunday and enjoy your weekend. Go make your day richer. Go make someone else's day richer. You've made mine by watching the show, and I love you for it. We'll see you later. See you on Monday. Bye-bye.